They say the first stone was laid before time had a name. Not a monument, a marker, a covenant, between those who came and those who never left.
Whispers for the first one, the watcher, the one who remembers what they tried to bury. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm here to return something. A system, a trust, built on food, not fear.
Then who does it belong to?
To those who still sing, who still plant, who never gave it up even when they had nothing left but breath.
You're saying we bypass the entire system?
I'm saying we become the system, but one built on food, not code, faith, not fear, and a ledger that lives on chain, not in secret.
You're talking blockchain? For farming?
For transparency, for trust, for every mother who watched her land get taken, for every kid who deserves more than a paper promise.
Each stone was more than a symbol. It was an algorithm, a memory, a rebuke to the systems that thought our people had forgotten.
One for the land, one for the seed, one for the fire, one for the water, one for the truth, one for the mothers, one for the fathers, one for the children, one for the ancestors, one for the future, one for the watchers, one for the unseen.
You sure the feds won't come after us?
Let them come. I've got receipts. And more importantly, I've got 1,000 years behind me. ʻāina isn't just an idea, it's a system. One where every breath you take means you owe the land something back.
Ialae ka la'ika hikina, I ka moana hohonu.
You really believe this can replace the whole system?
It's not about replacement, it's about restoration. We're not a smart city, we're a wise island.
All right, we get USDA, HUD, DOE, maybe even the DOI behind it. What's the first node?
Moku'ula, we restore the heart first.
Who can name the 3 parts of an ahupua'a?
Kai, Kula, and Uka.
Right on. And when your real-world loe hits peak moisture, your avatar unlocks mana points.
You'll want federal compliance and blockchain oversight. For a game?
It's not a game, it's a teaching engine, a land trust simulator, an audit trail, and a mirror.
A mirror?
To show them what we could have been, before we sold our birthright for asphalt and Wi-Fi. "12 stones, one for each breath I owe back, and one more for those who tried to stop it, but couldn't stop the roots."
Here, this parcel, burned in the fire. But look, original deed says it was Ohana held since 1884.
We scan it. Upload to the trust ledger. Smart contract verifies title against blockchain.
You trust code that much?
No, I trust the land. The code just proves we remembered.
A land without covenant is just dirt, but land with prayer becomes sacred again. Who holds this one?
Big Jim, my father, the one who taught me to build without taking.
Everything you touch, you fix. Don't leave a hole where your hand's been.
You kept the covenant, Dad. Now it's my turn.
Uncle, why do we plant if it's all ash?
Because Ash remembers. We've mapped every ahupua'a. Integrated weather, food production, housing needs, cultural protocols. Not a smart city. An ancestral operating system.
But where's the economic driver?
Right here. You eat, you grow, you trade, you restore. Then she logs the chain of custody. Federal compliant, spiritually sovereign. This is Farmbox, built from waste, fed by rain, managed by you.
Can we game this too?
You already are. Every head of lettuce you grow buys mana in the Sage game.
So farming is leveling up?
Exactly. But the final boss is the food system itself.
All incoming funds routed through Langford's pass-through trust. Transparent, auditable, culturally aligned.
That includes HUD, USDA, and DOI disbursements.
Yes, with third-party verification, where food comes from signs off on every transaction.
And what's the 12.5% for?
To break the curse. That cut feeds the children of those who were never fed.
The algorithm wasn't code alone. It was memory activated. It was forgiveness gamified.
Remember, child, food is not a product. It is a relative.
It's not animation, it's testimony.
One for the fathers, one for the mothers, and this one for the ones who hid us in plain sight.
One left?
Not yet. The last stone chooses when it's ready.
Gap 5S. Sunrise over ancient Hawaiian temple ruins. Voiceover. The dawn brings more than light. It brings revelation. Gap 5S. Close-up of Langford's face, deep in thought. Voiceover. The final stone, the last piece of the sacred covenant, lies dormant, waiting for its moment to awaken. Gap 5S. Langford holding the last stone in his hands, glowing faintly. Voiceover. Langford, the keeper of the stone, stands at the threshold of a new era. Gap 5S. Flashback montage of Langford's journey, meeting key figures and overcoming obstacles. Voiceover. His journey has been long, marked by trials and triumphs, but the final task remains. Gap 5S. Langford places the stone on an ancient altar, surrounded by the other 11 stones. Voiceover. This stone is unlike the others. Gap 5S. Close-up of the stone. Voiceover. It is the culmination of memory, sacrifice, and hope. Gap 5S. Montage of historical figures and events. Voiceover. It embodies the spirit of those who came before, and those who will come before, and those who will come after. Gap 5S's. Beam of light connects the stones, illuminating the surroundings. Voiceover. Each encounter, each lesson, has prepared Langford for this moment. Gap 5S. Community members gather around the altar witnessing the event. Voiceover. The elders spoke of it as prophecy. The children dreamt of it as fantasy. But now, it is reality. Gap 5S. Langford and community members in anticipation. Voiceover. The altar. The nexus of past and future waits to be activated. Gap 5S. A wide shot of the altar with the stones. Voiceover. The stones which is testament to a promise kept aligned in harmony. Gap 5S. A beam of light connects the stones, illuminating the surroundings. Voiceover. As the light connects the stones, it weaves a tapestry of stories, of land and sea, of struggle and renewal, of a people reclaiming their heritage. Gap 5S. Community members gather around the altar, witnessing the event. Voiceover. The community, bound by a shared history and vision, stands united. Gap 5S. A young child steps forward, guided by Langford. Voiceover. In this moment, they are not just witnesses. They are participants in the unfolding legacy. Gap 5S. The child looks up at Langford. Voiceover. The future rests in the hands of the young. Gap 5S. The child steps forward, guided by Langford. Voiceover. As the child steps forward, guided by Langford, the final stone recognizes its keeper. Gap 5S. The stone glows brightly, resonating with the other stones. Voiceover. Resonating with the other stones.
Bezbuntkajin Bilachilakhandi is in others, Testations rain, grain, rain, berries, and gardens, country rose and richmond, breakers, content feeds, people that are where the past meets the future,
Rejuvenating the land and the people. Voiceover. It is a moment of transcendence where the past meets the future and the covenant is fulfilled. Gap 5S. The light spreads, rejuvenating the land and the people. Voiceover. The light spreads, a beacon of renewal. Gap 5S. Aerial view of the land healing. Voiceover. And the sacred covenant, once a distant dream, becomes a living reality. Gap 5S. Fade to black, followed by the text. The journey continues. Voiceover. The journey continues, but the stones are not just relics, they are reminders. Gap 5S. Close up of the stones.
Grace aways us with serene disease, with serene credits, with us and dedicates us and assist and out and formed and
Gap 5S. Sunrise over the rejuvenated land. Voiceover. With the stones awakened and the land healed, the echoes of the ancestors begin to resound through the ages. Gap 5S. Close up of the stones, now glowing with a steady light. Voiceover. The stones, now vibrant with energy, hold within them the voices of those who have come before. Gap 5S. Community members gathered around, listening intently. Voiceover. The community gathers not just to witness, but to listen, to hear the stories and wisdom of their forebears. Gap 5S. An elder steps forward, touching one of the stones. Voiceover. An elder, keeper of oral tradition, steps forward and touches a stone, bridging the past and present. Gap 5. Yes. Montage of historical events narrated by the elder voiceover. Through the stone, the elder recounts tales of courage, perseverance, and unity that have shaped their heritage. Gap 5S, close up of the elder's face, eyes closed up of the elder's face, eyes closed. Deep connection. Voiceover. It is a moment of profound connection, where the elder and the ancestors become one voice. Gap 5S. Community members inspired and emotional. Voiceover. Each story, each lesson enriches the community. Members inspired and emotional. Voiceover. Each story, each lesson enriches the community, binding them closer together. Gap 5S. A young child steps forward, encouraged by the elder. Voiceover. A young child, eyes wide with wonder, steps forward, encouraged by the elder. Gap 5S. The child places their hand on the stone. Voiceover. As the child's hand touches the stone, a new story begins to unfold. A story of the present and the future endeavors, advancements, and future endeavors, advancement, and unity. Voiceover. The stone reveals visions of what lies ahead. Advancements, unity, and the continuation of the sacred covenant. Gap 5S. Unity, and the continuation of the sacred covenant. Gap 5S to uphold the legacy and build upon it. The community, now more determined than ever. Voiceover. The community, now more determined than ever, vows to uphold the legacy and build upon it. Gap 5S, aerial view of the community working together, planting, building, celebrating. Voiceover. They work together, planting, building, celebrating, building that is broken over their land. Gap 5S, montage of individuals contributing in various ways. Voiceover. Each person, from the youngest to the oldest, contributing in various ways. Voiceover. Each person, from the youngest to the oldest, finds their role in this renewed society, contributing their unique gifts. Gap 5S. A close-up of Langford, watching over the community with pride. Voiceover. Langford, the keeper of the stones, watches with pride as the community thrives. Gap 5S, Langford addressing the community. Voiceover. He addresses the community. Voiceover. He addresses the community, reminding them that the stones are not just symbols, but living parts of their heritage and future. Gap 5S. The community, nodding in agreement and commitment. Voiceover. The community nods their commitment to the sacred covenant unwavering. Gap 5S. A vision of the stones, now a beacon for all to see. Voiceover. The stones, now a beacon of hope and renewal, stands as a testament to what has been achieved and what is yet to come. Gap. Of hope and renewal, stand as a testament to what is back followed by the text. The legacy continues. Voiceover. The legacy continues, for the stones are not just a relic of the past. They are the foundation of the future. Gap 5S, close up to the stones. Voiceover. As long as the stones endure, so too will the spirit of the people who hold them dear. Gap 5S, and credits with serene background music. Voiceover. This is not the end. It is a new chapter, a new beginning, and a promise of a brighter future.